Okay, so I haven't been doing this for a while, and I should have because I've felt so many new emotions and working through a lot of stuff. So right now I am realizing that my whole life I kind of had low-grade depression, and for the past 3 days I felt it so much. So Thursday I called out. My sleep pattern has been messed up. But Thursday I stayed in my room, no lights, and I just slept the whole day. And since Thursday I've been feeling so low, like nothing makes me happy. I question like what's the point of doing simple things, and realize that I've been feeling this way for a while now. One second. And realize that I've been living with low-grade depression, and then which I just realized today. And so low-grade depression has been underneath this whole time. I was just so sad in childhood. Like, I had good moments, but I was pretty much depressed my whole childhood. And I know that my success is on the other side of my healing journey, and it's been really hard because my eyes are open now, so I understand how I come across, how I am, my ego, my shadow self. I understand all that, and I see that the energy that I put out, this is the life I get. Really, I'm not connected to anyone besides my sister, no friends, just no one around. And at work, I'm always in the middle of drama. At this new job, well, I've had this job for almost a year, but everyone hates me there, and I understand. But like, I'm starting to realize that this persona, my ego, who I am, this is the environment I live in. This is what I create. And so it's been really hard, and I've been going through so much hard stuff, like mentally, and it's been really hard, but it's just like the only way is through. I have to get through this. I have to keep on having my eyes open and keep on processing and keep on learning these heavy feelings about myself, because I have to get through this, and I have to change, and I really want to like have an ego death, but I'm not ready for that yet. But I know who I want to be, or not who I want to be. I know who I am, that person, and it's on the other side of my healing. My success is on the other side of my healing. My relationship with God is on the other side of my healing. Everything's on the other side, and the only way I can get to that life that I know is meant for me is by going through this uncomfortable, hard period of my life. And it's been a lot. But yeah, low-grade depression, I realized yesterday and today that I've pretty much been living with that my whole life. I was just such a like miserable, like not happy kid. And then I've been writing so much, like every day, trying to think of everything. I do think that I'm more like a type A, not really type A, but I feel like everything in my life is so chaotic. And so what helps me is like structuring out everything. So even my free days, I'll write like a schedule. I don't put like time on it, because that feels very like strict, and like I don't like that. But I'll do like a schedule, and then like I did one today, and I'll like adhere to my schedule on my off days. And then like I do want to start working more, 50 hours a week, because I do want to do like a $3,000 budget. But I'm stressed about finances, because as soon as I get good, I'll start calling off again. Like, I am like a lazy person. And so I don't see the future. I don't plan, like, I never plan for the future because I've been in survival mode my whole life. I've always looked at the now, so it's hard for me to look forwards and like, why am I going to work extra hours for my future self? Like, I worry about my now self. And so it's been really hard, but that's something I really am praying about. I don't have willpower, but I'm trying to, work harder. But laziness and hard work and all of that is just something that I've always struggled with, and that's another thing. But yeah, I want to be on a budget. I want to be on $3,000 budget, so I can schedule out my drinks every day. Not schedule, but like budget out my drinks, budget out my food, budget out everything. Because I know that I'm a person that needs structure. I don't need like time by time, minute by minute structure. That's like too like no, but I do need structure in my own way. So that's one thing I do have to, like, it's going to be really hard because I like value the now versus the future. In 2 weeks I could be homeless, but now I'm having a good time. That is what I focus on. And so I do want to do better, work more, so that I can structure my finances, which will take off so much stress off of me. And then I do want to, which I have been structuring my life out. Like, I structured my whole day out for the past couple of days. It makes me happy. I don't feel like chaotic. I know what I'm doing for that day. So that's one thing that I've been working on. Let's see. Oh my gosh. So I know the next steps in my healing. I know that I have to get off of social media, 100% off social media. So, social media, music. Well, I listen to music, but right now, whenever I wake up, I have to play something because I don't like being alone. So I play something to let me know that there's people. So I have to play something. I have to have music in the car. I have to, as soon as I get home, put on YouTube. I can't be in silence. And I know that my next step of healing is lower my off of social media, but lower my stimulation. So like, no YouTube, no like stuff in the morning. But I want to like go eventually get 100% off of all of that. And I like music. It helps me. Like, there's like music, like happy music, and it like makes me feel happy. And there's sad music, it makes me feel sad. And I realized like piano stuff makes me really happy, like piano music, which is weird, but so I have to get off social media. No more stimulations. I'm gonna start tomorrow. And then which is gonna be so hard. And there's another thing I was gonna do. I have to start tomorrow. And then work on like structuring my finances, structuring my life out. So this month, oh my gosh. So let me just say that social media stimulations, it like hinders me from becoming, it distracts me from what I need. So I know that I have to like just work off of that. But I was on social media yesterday, and I compare myself a lot. So I'm comparing myself to all of these people I went to college with. There's this one girl, she has all these friends, and she's so happy, she's so nice, and I'm comparing myself to her because my ego, I am not nice. I keep to myself, leave me alone, I'm cold. But I have like this ego, like I'm like this, big person. And I was comparing myself to her, like I am mean, and I don't say this to hurt myself. It doesn't hurt me. When I say it's like, this is what I become to survive. But like, I am mean, I'm unfriendly, I am bitch, I am very hot and cold. Like, I talk to you when I want to talk to you, and I have this huge ego. even though I lived the life I live, just looking at how I present myself, you wouldn't tell. I walk around like I'm a manager, like that I know everything. And so the ego really helped me in childhood. It gave me so much dignity because I knew that I couldn't heal. I knew that I couldn't like mature or like have relationships like other people. So I had this like ego, like even though I know that I'm less than, no one's gonna can teach me, I know that I'll never be what they are, I can still walk around like they are. And so it came from being less than, not having anyone pour into me. Other people had families and like they were developing like normal people. I wasn't. So I had this big ego, and it really helped me in childhood. It gave me dignity. You know, I was walking around like I was, you know, Miss Kim K, and I was like the weird girl at Hope. But it made me not feel less than, even though I know it was less than. But now the ego really hurts me because I'll walk around and just look down at everyone. I'm better than everyone. And it's like, you can't, I don't know, it's like, I have to close the chat. I do have to have an ego death because my ego is huge, because I needed a larger than life ego to survive. But it's like, now it harms me because I don't even know how to explain it, but I was watching this one girl, and she's who I thought I am, who I think I am. You know, she's super nice. She has all these friends. She's so feminine. She's so, you know, she's always traveling. She's always doing stuff, all these hobbies. That's who I want to be. And I'm the opposite. I stay in my room all day. I have no friends. I don't talk to anyone because no one talks to me. I have bad social anxiety. I am always crying, like unstable, always crying about work. Like, but I like show up like I'm better than she is. And so like yesterday was like I was like I was so uncomfortable, but I was like, I have to see this. I have to work towards, I don't know how I'm going to have an ego death. It's going to take a long time because the ego like is it's like so like it's so like weaved into me, like it is my identity. And so it's gonna be like, I don't know who I am without it. But I know that I need to get rid of it, because I'm walking around like I'm Kim K, living like I do, crying every week about bills, stress, no friends, no connections. You know, I was too good for all of that. And I didn't know how to like connect with people. I didn't know how to have relationships. So that's why my ego was like, I don't need relationships. But I carry that attitude now, and so I don't have any, and I want them now. But it's just like, I have to work with my ego, and I don't know how to like penetrate that yet. But it was such an eye-opener that this is the girl who I think I am, who I think people see me as, and that's not who it is. You know, they just see me as a mean bitch. Yeah, she's got nice stuff, she's got a nice car, but she's a mean bitch. She has no friends, no one likes her. And like in my mind, like my ego will make it to like a superiority thing, like they can't touch me, but it's like, it's not. And so ego is not, especially that it was like built in with your identity, it's not something that you can just like, you know, just get rid of, you know. But I do want to like learn how to close a chapter, because I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be that person, you know. Growing up, like everyone like we were like so snobby and so like popular girl coded, like we all wanted to be the popular girl. So it's like normal like stuff, like if someone was a little different, we'd be like, that's weird. And it's like, now that different girl has all these friends and has all these good connections, and like the popular one that wouldn't like be different, that would like kind of like shaved off all those things, like those pieces of personality to be popular, is like nowadays it's like, because nowadays it's like authenticity is key. And it's like nowadays, if you're like that popular girl, you're like the boring like snobby, I don't know, it's like we grew up with like boomer mindset, because we were like secluded, and everyone was like was born in like the 70s, like that raised us. So it's like, I don't know, nowadays the alternative kid that would have got bullied and made fun of back then is now the popular kid, and the popular kids are not like the snobby stuck up kids, you know, and I'm definitely that. And so it's just like, I'm glad, because I'm healing, because I can look at back then. If I would have saw what I saw now, I would like be off social media for a couple days and be so sad. But it's just like, I saw that and I was like so compassionate with myself. Like, that's what I had to become to survive. I didn't have parents, I didn't have anyone that was there to like model me or shape me. I was just, that's who I grew into, because I was left alone. So it's like, it's not my fault, but I do want to go ahead and close that chapter. And I like kept on looking at other people's pages that were kind of like her, this girl, and I was just like, you know, I'm glad to feel the discomfort. Like, you know, I don't know, it's just a growing thing for me. And, you know, awareness is like the very first step in my mind, and then it's insight, and then, you know, then you start closing the chapter. And so I'm very happy about that, because I don't want to be this person anymore. I don't want to be the tough, like, you know, I don't want to do that. Also, I've been feeling like my hypervigilance is no joke, but I feel it as a state now, instead of like, I'm starting to feel it more as a state, instead of it like taking over my body and I'm just not safe, and I can't like think, and I'm just like, now it's starting to come as a state. So like at night I have bad hypervigilance. Randomly now I'll just get scared, and like a little, like any drop, I'll be like this. And so I started like, I'll get hypervigilant so bad it will wake me up out of my sleep. And so whenever I wake up, I'll run for like in place for like 10 minutes just to get my blood flowing, to like help with cortisol. And then it like, once like I calm down and my body releases chemicals and I sleep so well. And so I've been doing that. And yeah, I can feel like my hypervigilant as a state. Like, I'll be fine at night and I'll turn off the TV, I'll lay down, and then like I'm a light sleeper for like, you know, I'll light sleep for like an hour. I'll wake up and then I'll feel like scared, like just, I won't even open my door because my mind's telling me there's something on the other side of my door. I'll be scared like that, so I'll just run for a little bit, and then it helps with my cortisol, and then I'll go back to normal. So I'm starting to feel my hypervigilant as a state, being uncomfortable in my body. I'm feeling that as a state. It's because of like activation, and so you have too much activation, and like you kind of like just sit in it, like makes you uncomfortable. And so that is another thing. I really like being on Instagram nowadays, because my Instagram used to like really mess you up, compare, like all that stuff, but then also you can use it like as a good thing. So like my Instagram, it's like all these philosophers and like quotes and all these mental health things. So I'll go to Instagram and I'll like learn all these new things, and so I like going on Instagram. But one thing I did learn yesterday was like, in this new stage of healing, well, I just learned I had low-grade depression my whole life. But whenever I'm like in survival mode, stress, like I'm just working on surviving. That is my main purpose. But then when I regulate at the lake, my main purpose, like, what is my purpose? What am I here to do? And so like I was thinking of like lifetime purpose. What's my purpose? why am I here as a human to do? And it's like, the person that I saw, the quote was like, the person that thinks about their purpose or tries to find their purpose, it's like the person that never finds happiness, because you're always like searching. And so it's like, it was like saying like, instead of looking for your purpose as a human being, like just take it down and make a purpose for the day. And so I've been doing that. Today my purpose is just to regulate and to to find a little moment of happiness, because I do have low-grade depression. I've been living with that. I've been living with low-grade depression. I've been living with like just being miserable as my baseline. I've been living with all this trauma, all this pain, and it's just like, it's a lot, but it's just like, and it's so uncomfortable, but I have to heal it. Like, I just have to heal it, because my success is on the other side. The life that I know that is meant for me is on the other side of my healing. And so it's really hard. But yeah, hypervigilance. I'm trying to structure my finances and my day. Also hobbies. Everything is like flat, because I'm so used to, like, for 8 years to cope, I was on social media and on porn. And so like I was like, I needed stimulation. I was like on the biggest, monster, what is it, 24 ounce, like I need all of that sugar, all of that to cope. And it's like, the more I'm healing, the less of that I need. But also, because I was on social media, like my dopamine center is like all like messed up, so I have to reset it, because right now little stuff, I don't find joy in it. I don't get dopamine for doing little like hobbies that I want to do. I only get dopamine from scrolling. And so I have to like, that's why I have to get off of social media and stuff like that, because I know that I am a person that's gonna have a lot of hobbies. Like, I am like so happy with all the like things in my mind. I want to try fishing, I want to try this, I want to try this, and that. Like, it's coming back. When I was younger, I was like, why don't I have any hobbies? Why don't I collect anything, But I think I am like gonna be like a collector, and I know that I'm like big into hobbies. And I know that doesn't start until I 100% get off social media, because I have to reset my dopamine, so I find joy doing little things again. So healing is definitely so much insight, but it's like so much ups, and like I'm making so much progress and then so much downs. Like, I've been flat for a week. I've been calling out of work. I've been stressed about finances. Right now I'm trying to talk to my car place to see if I don't pay my car bill this month, because I have to pay rent if I get my car repoed, and then I'm trying to move, because I don't want to pay $1,200 anymore for rent. But like, I get stress in environments. I get environmental stressors, because of those environments is what I lived in. And so if I go back, like I'll get stressed. Like, I was stressing. There's this one lady, and she's like, yeah, it's $800, and I was like, oh, okay, like this is like really, I can do this. And then at the very end, she's like, come tomorrow at 9. She dropped the location. I looked at location. It was like in Seminole Heights, and I was like getting stressed, because I'm like, I'm not going back there, because I remember living in Seminole Heights with my mom. We moved around so much. We were in Waters, we were in Line Ball, we were at Seminole Heights, we were like everywhere in the ghetto. And like, I have stress about living in those places. Like, I get I get body stressed. So I was like hyperventilating, like I can't go back there. And so I just didn't answer her text. But yeah, so I'm doing all of that now, but I definitely, this week has been like the lowest of lows in my mental health healing. And last week, like the first couple weeks before that, like last 3-4 weeks were like very high. So much insight, so much crying, so much healing, and last week was just so low, and I hated that. But I'm learning and I'm making progress, and this week I'm just stabilizing and then going back into next week. Also, I'm building regulating days. Like, every day I exercise twice a day and I journal. Those are 3 things I have to do: exercise morning and night and journal, to regulate my day. And I'll still get dysregulated at work, but I come home and run off that stress, so I don't have to sleep with it. And then when I sleep, I also have stress. So I have to wake up and like exercise, like get my heart running, and then I journal every night, because I have so much insight. Like I am like a very like my mind's always running, and I'm always thinking about like all this like insight, I don't know, about my life, and like I understand stuff, but it's like it swirls in my brain, and I keep on like repeat, like saying it like bulletin points so I don't forget it. And so now what I do is I come home and I journal it down to like, which I do want to structure out my journaling so that I can, so what I want to do is like before I start, what I do is I journal, I'll just start and I'll just do like 4 or 5 pages, no pauses, no nothing. But what I want to do is start doing introductions before I switch to like a new thing I'm journaling about, so then I can like see everything that I'm talking about, so then that'll help me, I can go back and look like, see, it's all here. I started that with my ideas. I have 5 like flat sheets of paper, like things I want to do, things I have to do, like, and I just write down. And like before, I would swirl in my mind because I'm like, I can't forget, and like now I just write it down. I can just leave it down there. But that's that. Let me see. That's when I realized I'm uncomfortable in my body. Social media. I wake up dysregulated. Also, when I wake up dysregulating, I look like I feel like depressed. These are some of the hobbies: fishing, Scrabble, Sudoku, workbook, beach, reading, writing, journaling, beach sports, poems, literature. Also, it's like I can't get myself to read right now. I can't get myself to like write poems and stuff like that I want to, because like I don't have, like, I know that I want to try it, but it's like it falls flat because like I need that dopamine hit, like social media, so it's like boring in my head now. But once I start like being off of like social media and like stimulations, then it'll feel like once I like regulate my dopamine center, then stuff like this won't feel flat, and I'll be able to do more hobbies. So that's why it's really important that I start now. It's like off of social media, structuring my finances, my life, keep on healing. And I feel so uncomfortable in my body, like, but it's like I won't distract myself on social media like I used to do. Like I just sit with being uncomfortable. I sit with being scared. I'm just like, this is the only way. This is only way is through, straight through. It's the fastest way. And so yeah, it's hard, but it's just like I want my success, my healing, my like everything's on the other side, and so I have to get through all this, and so it's really hard. But yeah.